Hey you guys, so I did the tour through Kroger today, and I am going to get that video to you, but I haven't figured out yet how to edit it, and there's quite a bit of me just walking around, and so I don't want to subject you to that. It's like 30 minutes long. So what I'm going to do is just take you on a little tour in my kitchen of the things that I bought and just kind of talk you through just a little bit of it until I can get that other video to you. So I'm just going to kind of go one by one on things. So um, one thing that is super, super important is salmon. I love salmon, and we make salmon here quite a bit. It's rich in omega 3s. It's really good for you in certain situations. If it is wild caught salmon, it's fine. Otherwise, it probably has mercury in it and is not good for you at all. So be very, very careful about that at the grocery store. Wild caught salmon is more expensive, and so you're going to have to make that sacrifice if you're going to use salmon. So it's worth it though, or I just wouldn't even use it. So seriously. Okay, and then along those lines, tuna. So like for me, if I've got a busy day and I just need to grab lunch really quick, and yeah, we've got a hole in our ceiling right now. We had a leak. But anyway, if I've got a busy day and I just need something quick and easy for lunch or a good snack, I love tuna fish. And you know, now they have it in those little packages, but the problem is the same with tuna is there's a lot of mercury in tuna fish. And so I found this product, which is called Safe Catch Elite, and it's really great. And it tastes really good too, and it's safe. So it has the lowest mercury of any brand, and all kinds of testing and certification. So I feel really good about it. It's actually mercury tested. So grab some of that. It's not that much more than any of the others, and it's really good, really tasty. Okay. As far as eggs, the main thing to me is that they're cage-free chickens. To me, that matters. Now, my daughter, who is pre-vet, would argue with me about that, but I think it's important. I think that you get better quality eggs that way. I choose organic usually. Kroger has a good brand, Simple Truth, but also I like Eggland's best, and then there are a couple other brands that I noticed that are local farm type brands, and I think those are great. So just be careful about that. But I love eggs, and they're really good for you. So just kind of go that way. Okay. So next thing is if you like bread, and that's a hard one for you, and like for me, I love as a easy supper or quick meal to scramble some eggs and do it on toast. I mean, like that is like comfort food to me. And so but I really can't do gluten, like it really hurts me. And so this brand I really like. It's easy to find, Udi's, and you can't go crazy with it, but it does satisfy that. And I just toast it up. I keep it in the fridge so that it doesn't mold or anything, and then I just toast it and put some avocado on there, some guac, put some eggs on there. It's really good. This one is the Ancient Grain, and it's got 320 milligrams of omega 3 ALA per serving, which is really great. It's really good for you, and 5 grams of fiber. So there's something. As far as rice, with our program, we don't eliminate any total whole food group. We just are smart about our food groups. So, as far as grains go, you can do quinoa and rice. And I actually really like this brand of rice. You can find that at Kroger. Obviously, I shop at Kroger, but you can find it at other stores too. But the main thing about rice is if you can grab the organic, that's better because you can have arsenic in rice. So just be cautious about that. Okay. So tomato sauce. There are probably more than one that you could go to. I'm sure there are, but my go-to is this. It's Muir Glen. And the reason is because it is made without sugar. And what I have noticed is that most like spaghetti sauce and pasta sauce, that type of stuff, even pizza sauce, has added sugar. Even the Kroger Private Selection organic one has sugar added, so be careful about that. The other thing I was going to say about this is really important, and I didn't get the can out, but if you buy canned vegetables and fruit, obviously because tomatoes are fruits, but especially tomatoes because of the acid in tomatoes, make sure that you get a kind that says BPA free. So why that matters is BPA is a chemical that's found like in plastics and in the lining of cans, and it is very harmful to us. It causes a lot of autoimmune problems, is very immune modulating in a bad way, can cause thyroid issues, and you know that we as doctors in Western world are not very good about being on board about nutrition and how important that is for your health and everything. But even like mainstream regular doctors know and agree that BPA is really bad for you. So avoid that as much as you can. So like don't heat stuff up in plastic bowls in the microwave. Always use a glass bowl if you're going to heat up in the microwave. And then on your canned goods, make sure the can says BPA free. Okay, so that's really, really important. Okay, next is your almond butter or nut butters. There's a few brands that you can get. The main thing to me, this is Barney, that's Jania's favorite. We use this one and also Maranatha because it's easy to find. But the main thing you'll notice down here is no sugar or salt added. That's really the most important part about that. So just pay attention when you get your almond butter on that, or you can get extra sugar. Man, they sneak sugar in everywhere, so you just got to be careful. Okay. I show you an avocado just because we love avocados. They're really good for us, really good healthy fat. I will, this is like your mammal's diet, but I will get these rice cakes. And then maybe put like a little hummus on there and then some avocado slices and like salt and pepper is so good. And it gives you that crunch. If you're like me, I don't long for sweets that much, but I want some crunch. I used to be a really bad chip eater. And so I need to, supply that somehow. Okay, and then another way that I satisfy my need for crunching is some crackers. So I used to be a wheat thin eater. Don't eat wheat thins, they're so bad. But this is called Mary's Gone Crackers, this brand, and she has several different flavors. They're really good. They're really crunchy, and they're gluten-free, non-GMO, they're vegan. They're really good. Just know that everything has calories in it, so you can't just go crazy. But I like those. My favorite one of hers is this one, which is the jalapeno. But there's some other crackers like that you can find. Just be cautious about it, because just because it says gluten-free doesn't mean it's okay. There are lots of brands that'll have corn in them, and we're trying to mostly avoid corn. So just kind of pay attention to what kind of flour it is. Even if it's not wheat flour, it may be something we shouldn't be eating that much of. Okay. Also on your almond milk, there's lots of different out there. I mean, there's vanilla, there's 30 calorie, there's 60 calorie, there's, what all available. So I usually just get the 30 calorie per serving almond milk. Usually we buy Silk, but there are a couple of other brands. And the main thing about that is just make sure on the label that it doesn't contain carrageenan. Some almond milk will have carrageenan in it, and that is a cancer-causing agent. So just be careful about that. Just read your label. But Silk is safe. The Kroger brand is safe. Also the, Simple Truth. I'm sorry. Also, you can do like coconut milk. If you don't like the taste of the almond milk, you can do coconut milk. You can also do flax milk or cashew milk. Any of those are fine, really. And then if you find that you don't really like those, you can make your shakes with water. I mean, it's really fine to do that. So, but anyway, if you're buying almond milk, that's the way I would go. Also, when we replace coffee, I talk about a product called Dandy Blend, which I get from Amazon. I love it so much. It's really good for you. It's made from dandelion and chicory. Dandelion has a ton of antioxidants in it. It's really good for you. And we actually have dandelion in our detox tea. But anyway, it tastes kind of like coffee, and a lot of times people, including me, will like a little creamer in there. And so there are some almond milk creamers that you can use. And just, again, same thing, just watch the sugar. Silk has one, and then there's one called Nut Pods that's good. So, just a little bit I think is okay. But just be cautious about that. Also, if you're a yogurt eater, I like my yogurt. And, once you're off the 30 days, you can go back to a little bit of yogurt if dairy doesn't bother you, because it's fermented and it's, there's lots of good, healthy bacteria in there. But during the 30 days, Silk does have an almond milk yogurt that you can use. The only caution I would have for that is that it has 200 calories in it. So, don't eat a bunch of it, and you may want to replace a meal with it or something, or just be careful with it, or use it on a day when you exercise a lot or something like that, so you're not getting a ridiculous amount of calories. Okay. A lot of our recipes call for coconut oil to cook with. There's also lots of other really great uses for coconut oil. You can do something called oil pulling. And I know that sounds a little yah-yah or whatever, but I actually kind of have found some evidence for that, and I've done it, and I feel like it helps. And that's just where you put some coconut oil in your mouth, like a teaspoon or so, and just kind of swoosh it around in there for 10 minutes or so. It just helps with the bacteria in your mouth. It's really good. It helps with cavities, toothaches, and stuff. But anyway, when you get your coconut oil, you want to get cold pressed, unrefined. There's lots of different varieties, but get cold pressed, unrefined. Okay. Okay. Then another brand that I really like, just the brand in general, is Red Mill. It's really good, or I guess it's Bob's Red Mill, but they have all kinds of gluten-free flours and mixes and that type of stuff. They're really good. I really have become kind of a fan of Bob's Red Mill. But anyway, they have quick cooking oats, and oats by nature are gluten free, but they can have gluten in them if they're processed in a factory, with gluten or whatever. But these are organic and gluten free. They really weren't that much more expensive at the store, I didn't think, than anything else, and they're really great for making your protein balls or protein bars. So I always keep some of that on hand. Okay. Other snacks. I'm a snacker, so I have to have something healthy on hand or I'm going to eat something bad. One thing I really, really like is this. Emerald has cocoa roast almonds, and they do not have any sugar in there. The only bad news in there is a little bit of potato starch, but honestly, it's so low. Well, there's a little sucralose in there too, so maybe not on the cocoa roast almonds. If you're going to have those, just have a few, but it can kind of satisfy that chocolate craving and the crunch, but not so much. Sorry about that. Okay. I have to give those to somebody else. One thing that is good, though, I like this brand too, Back to Nature. This mix has cashew, almond, and pistachio. Every one of those are really good for you. And then also, I just like plain old almonds, like just raw almonds or just lightly salted almonds with sea salt. They give you a good crunch. They give you good healthy fat and protein and satisfy cravings. So same thing, just pay attention to your amount so that you're not going crazy. I think some of the time that's what sabotages us. We're eating the right things, but we think we can eat as much as we want of it. And unless it's celery or broccoli, it's probably not the case. But those things are okay to snack on. They help in moderation, and I really do believe in moderation in all things. Moderation really is the key for most things, really. I mean, there are some things we just shouldn't put in our mouth or on our body, but for most things, it really is moderation. So you just kind of think about that and pay attention to that when you're eating and preparing meals. I don't buy a lot of water like in plastic bottles or whatever, because I'm just trying not to do that for the sake of the planet. But when I do buy alkaline water. So I really like Fiji water a lot, but there are a couple of other brands that are really good. And actually, Kroger Simple Truth brand has an artesian water that's pH is 7.6, and I like it too. I think that's a good choice, and it has a lower price point, so it's a good one to buy. Also, we do buy agave nectar. We use agave nectar and pure cane sugar in some things because they have a lower glycemic index. So if you're going to sweeten, it won't spike your blood sugar as much, won't cause that craving and crash like you get with refined white sugar. don't use a ton of that again, also, obviously. But other snacks you can have, guacamole, you can do salsa. There are all kinds of like bean type chips now that don't have corn in them, don't have potato in them, that are totally fine. And I took some pictures of those. I didn't buy a bunch of that today, but I'll send you those pictures so you can see those too. The main thing is, as much as you can, stick to the perimeter of the store and don't be shopping in the middle so much. The middle, of course, is more where the processed refined foods are, less of the whole food. So the more on the outside is like your fruits and vegetables, your healthier things. Okay. Also, I'm going to send you a picture of the non-dairy cheese that I use. It's a brand called Daiya. You do have to be careful about that because some vegan cheese is actually made of soy. So you don't want to be getting a bunch of soy because that's hormone modulating. So we really limit the soy. That's why I like, in place of soy sauce, we'll do coconut aminos, instead of that. They taste good, basically the same. I make fried rice all the time. But without all that soy. And soy sauce tends to have a lot of salt too, so we stay away from that as much as we can. Frozen fruits and vegetables, of course, are fine. Just pay attention that they don't have stuff added into them. But we use frozen stuff all the time. We use frozen fruits in our shakes, and also, grab a big thing of organic spinach. It's not expensive, and you can throw that in your shake and get some extra, vitamins and minerals that way. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I wanted to tell you from my grocery excursion today. I will get that video edited and let you see me in the grocery store. But that's kind of what I do. I know the brands that I like and are safe, and then I'll just kind of peruse some that are interesting to me that I'm not sure about, and I'll just read the labels. Clearly, I didn't do a good job of reading the Emerald label today, but other than that, I'm pretty diligent about that. The only other thing I would say is, it's progress, not perfection. Cut yourself some slack, do the best you can, and then we'll do this journey together. I love you guys.